Hey everyone, I thought I'd just do a quick tutorial on how to paint your minis as quickly as possible, doing it cheap. Don't need a lot of setup or have to spend a lot of money on all the best things like airbrushes or expensive primers, but this is basically using cheap base coat, spray cans, whatever you can get from a hardware store. And yeah, there's two ways I have started painting. Basically started off with these paints here, which was Army Painter acrylics, which are good for highlighting, but they're slow. They take time. You've got to build up your base colors, and if you want to do blending and so on. And then I've always used washes, Army Painter washes as well. They're great. They just give a bit more depth to your mini when you're finished. But now I've switched to Army Painter speed paints, and these are the 2.0 versions, and these are great. These are fantastic, and this is pretty much the main way I paint my minis now because they're quick, they're easy. Bought a set off Amazon for these colors here. It's not an expensive color range, but you can mix colors to make other blends and shades that you want to, and they do the job. And the two ways that I paint, so I'll either do a black undercoat. So basically you just want to get yourself a piece of wood, probably thinner than this one though. This one's probably too wide. You're better off having one probably half the size. So then when you're sticking your mini onto the wood with blue tack, you can get underneath it. So when you want to do a spray underneath, this is difficult with this one. Whereas if you have a thinner piece of wood, it's going to be easier to get that spray underneath. So you can do a black spray paint undercoat, which then when you do a white dry brush, it gives you an effect like that. And then you do your speed paints over the top of that white, over the top of the black, and it gives you some really nice sort of colors. Well, the colors give you that nice shading effect without having to do a lot to it other than just putting a coat of speed paints over it. Like for example, here's one here I've done. This is a Angel Mini from the board game Deliverance. Now the minis themselves came pre-washed like that, and then I just did a white dry brush straight over the top of that, which is this one here, and then that's ready to put the speed paint straight over the top of that. And the other way you can do speed paints is basically just do a white undercoat, which I've gotten some here from the 5th edition Talisman board game. I'm going to paint these guys, and so they're all ready to now have the speed paint ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a white dry brush on these black ones. These are minis from the Heroes of Might and Magic board game. Really nice minis on these horses, so I think they'll look really good. So I'm going to do a white dry brush on those and then use the speed paints. But I'll also, with these ones, thought I'd try just the white and just do speed paints over the top of them. I find if you're going to do armoured, anything metal with metallics, you're better off to do the black undercoat. And then, because the silver dry brushing over a black undercoat gives a much better effect than doing silver over flat white. But with materials like cloaks and things like that, dresses and leather, yeah, you sort of, it's okay to just do the white undercoat. I tend to like doing the black, to be honest. This is my favourite way. I just think it gives a really nice effect. Like here's a mini, the coat, so it's like a cloak. So that's actually black with the white dry brush, a heavy white dry brush, and so it gives you that dark sort of shading to it. Just comes up nice. Whereas that effect would not be on that cloak or that material if I just put that color straight over white. So that's why I do prefer the black. So what I'm going to do is I'll stop this video, but I'm going to do another one where I'll actually show you to do the white dry brushing. There's plenty of other tutorials out there, but some of them are probably a little bit too technical or use the best of the best for everything, whereas my idea is to do it cheaply, quickly, and get it onto the table as quickly as possible. Some people prefer to paint and paint and paint and never play their games, and that's fine if you like that, but I prefer to actually get the minis painted quickly so I can actually play them painted on the game. Anyway, I'll come back and show you another tutorial.